What's up, everybody? We're here, we're back, and of course, this video is brought to you in part by and sponsored by Tokyo Treat.
Yeah.
Wow. So for those of you who don't know what Tokyo Treat is a fun and exclusive Japanese snack box featuring unique and exclusive flavors from all over Japan. Each box is filled with a variety of full-size, fun, and exclusive Japanese snack items, like limited edition Kit Kats, which I think is usually our personal favorite, unique flavored Japanese chips, and occasional Japanese sodas that are only available in Japan for a limited time. Every box comes with a cultural guide, and this booklet contains Japanese cultural information and an explanation of each snack, like the flavor profiles, ingredients, and allergen information, which I know can be super helpful since while we all are working on Japanese, it is helpful to be able to read about what we're eating in English so we know exactly what we're getting ourselves into.
100%.
So every month, Tokyo Treat has a different theme, usually aligning with the season or holiday in Japan, or promoting certain Japanese cultural celebrations. So this month's box is Moonfest Snacktacular. The seasons are changing, and Japan's lunar party, Tsukimi, is almost here. Tsukimi, or moon viewing, is all about having a blast with family and enjoying delicious seasonal treats. Dive into the fun and savor all the tasty, exciting Tsukimi-inspired snacks in this month's Tokyo Treat box. So it's got things like Kit Kat Matcha, Golden Moon Senbei, garlic shrimp Japanese-style chips, banana castella, banana, premium Black Thunder butter flavor, and many more.
Thank you so much again to Tokyo Treat for sponsoring today's episode of the Hashira Half Hour. If you're interested in getting your own Tokyo Treat box and experiencing your own taste of the Moonfest Snacktacular Tsukimi season, then make sure to check out the link in our description. It has a code Hashira for $5 off of your first box. Get on that. It'll be fun. Let's get into today's episode.
Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Hashira Half Hour. We apologize for it being a month and a half since our last post, but you know, life happens, things happen, and we've had a crazy summer, but we are back, and today we're very excited to just kind of give y'all some closing thoughts on the Hashira Training Arc and prep you up for the Infinity Castle movie trilogy. I'm Hannah, I am your host today, and I am, as always, joined by my two friends.
It's your boy, your girl, Emily. I'm here. Nice to be back.
I thought you were about to say, it's your boy, Skinny Penis.
You said it, not me.
Hannah's clearly not seen the meme, it's your boy, Skinny Penis. I just want to get rich and famous and blow up and then act like I don't know nobody.
Poor Hannah. It's your boy.
I learn something new every time we record one of these.
We are just going to get you through an entire life's worth of popular culture, one episode at a time.
Thank you so much.
Anytime. All in a day's work.
But yeah, it's me. We're here. We're doing per usual. I've got many a toys surrounding me. Favorite Snorlax plushie next to me. And yeah, we're gonna talk about Demon Slayer.
As one does. Is now a good time to show the giant Tengen figure that I got? Because I knew the answer.
It's signed too.
Yeah, Ray Chase signed it. For those of you who maybe don't know, Ray Chase is Tengen's dub voice. He's really nice too. I've met him twice now, and both times he's given us something for free.
Aww.
Like, he's insisted. And he's really, really sweet. Yeah, I got that for knowing the name of the Demon Slayer movie the fastest, which is absolutely insane because that's a very expensive figure that they just gave away for a very easy question. Anyway, all things that happen while we take a break, but super excited to be back. As always, we obviously love talking about Demon Slayer. That's what brought the three of us together. So, of course, we're going to recap the season. Well, it's a little bit late. We hope that you all can still enjoy our overall thoughts on the season. So we're going to make this pretty quick and kind of break it down overall thoughts on the season. So the first thing that we wanted to kind of talk about was just our overall thoughts on the season, how we liked it. Obviously, this season was very different because I believe it was over 50% anime original content, which is pretty wild. So there was a lot of new stuff that we've never seen before, which was fun.
I mean, yeah, you can clearly tell that this is the calm before the storm, right? Like, and the ending told us that. We were all waiting. If you were a manga reader, you were waiting for episode 8. Clearly, this show has demonstrated its ability to build tension, to build character arcs very quickly, but also succinctly. I always talk about my other shows that I love, Naruto. Now I'm into One Piece. I'm on episode 80. Come aboard and bring along all your hopes and dreams, folks. But realistically, like, this show is good at what it does because it is quick and it gives you just the right amount of depth. And I think that's what this season did overall, is it gave us the right amount of depth. Like, we get to see a little bit of Gilmei's backstory finally. We get to see more about all these characters we've already learned about. So it's doing what it does best at providing the context of the current situation in a short yet powerful format.
I really enjoyed this season, but on the same token, I can understand why some people who are anime onlys, or like, I don't know, just have like a different taste for like a different kind of pacing. Like, I understand why people might not have enjoyed this one as much as some of the others. I think that Demon Slayer is a show that really, really benefits from everything that's been added to it. I love the manga, but we've talked about this in other episodes before. There are parts of it that probably could have been expanded upon, and that's what I think that they're trying to do. Everything that they've added feels really intentional and really thoughtful, and just gives us more time with these characters and this world that we've come to love. So I loved all of the anime original content. I would like to see even a little bit more, even though I don't know how likely that's going to be, knowing where it is that we're going next. But even if maybe this was not as action-packed as previous seasons, I think that there was still a lot to enjoy.
Yeah, agreed. I agree. I think this season wasn't everyone's cup of tea. You know, a lot of people who like Demon Slayer like it because of its hype and because of like just how intense the fight scenes can get. So I can understand, you know, kind of being a little bit disappointed by the season. However, I also agree I really enjoyed it because it's really our chance to get to sit there and just kind of hang out with our characters, which we've never gotten to do. We've never gotten to just train and not have this like battle happening, but instead, like, yes, there's a looming threat the entire time, and they kept reminding us of that, and a lot of that reminder stuff was anime original content as well. But to get to see, you know, Tanjiro hobble around on one, like with his cast, you know, chasing after Gyu at the beginning, and then Gyomei's backstory kind of breaking the hearts of everyone who watched, and everything in between was really, really fun. And I enjoy it when I have a show that's like really emotional and very intense, when I get to just sit there and enjoy some time with the characters, as long as it doesn't last too long. And I do think they found a perfect rhythm of that with really 7 episodes of downtime, and then of course the final episode was not really downtime at all. But yeah, overall very good season. It served its purpose, I would say, and it served its purpose very well. So let's kind of talk favorite moments or favorite episodes. You can, I guess, say both if they're two different things.
Well, there are definitely a few moments that stand out. I think, unsurprisingly, my favorite episode has to be the finale. I think that that's probably like the objectively correct answer. But all the episodes are great. The hype of like the last half of that episode especially was just incredible, and something that like as a manga reader we've been like I'm waiting for this to happen, this inciting incident, and we know it's coming. And even for the anime onlys, it's like we're building up to something. It's not just going to be a chill season, and I just think that they handled it beautifully. The animation is stunning as always. We know the UFO table has a favorite child, and we get to see all of the fruits of their labor pay off, and the fruits of our characters' labor pay off here pretty soon, hopefully. That's what we're going to see. So that's probably my favorite episode. And without having admittedly like recently rewatched each of these episodes, just thinking of like the moments that stuck out the most to me, that sequence, of course, the entire like end sequence, that's not really a moment, but like one brief moment was the little nod to Rengoku, of course, in our little Taisho era secret that we got. That was the only time that they've done anything like that, and it's just one of the moments that is still imprinted most clearly in my mind from the season. I thought it was really, really sweet.
We'll all be unsurprised at my favorite moment from the season. As we know, it was Zenitsu dropping into the Infinity Castle with his eyes wide open. That is what stuck with me from the ending sequence because, my God, like what a character shift first off, but also, again, demonstrating that character shift so swiftly. I can't wait to see because it was only hinted at what kind of happened. It was the moment where he's laying or sitting on top of the rock and he's like, I got a letter. I just got a letter. I just got a letter. Right? And now all of a sudden a switch is flipped and something is different. We don't know what as anime watchers, if you do as manga readers, but it's definitely a great moment to see. And overall, I think some of the other parts, although they gave us a lot of anime original content, I was wishing for more time with Mitsuri because there was like butter pancakes. Like that was the cutest thing ever, though. Like let's be real, when he's like butter pancake, this.
And then she wrecked everybody there. She's like, very good. You're good and fed? Perfect. Here we go.
About to break you in half.
As she should.
But yeah, that's kind of what I think of the moments that really stick with me from the season. I think this season definitely set kind of a precedent for, I guess, training arcs, if you will, because these training arcs were still, like, yeah, I just think this season set a precedent for training arcs and how they can be shorter. Like, you can have a training arc that's a season, but also still make it impactful.
Definitely, training arcs are still important, and I think UFO Table, and just, like, the manga, original manga, like, it was important to have a training arc somewhere in the show, you know, to be like, okay, we are physically, like, spending time on training to get stronger, and I think they, you know, this really, we were blessed with a very good training arc with a lot of substance, a lot of good moments. So obviously, like, I loved the season finale as well. Is it my favorite episode of the show? I go back and forth. I would have to rewatch the end of Swordsman Village again because that was very special to me, but I have watched it many, many times. So obviously episode 8 favorite. Like there's no competition. But I do have to shout out just episode 2 with Gyu's backstory. Obviously being the Gyu fangirl that I am, I was looking forward to that for so long. And getting to see like Tanjiro chase him around and Gyu-san, like it's so adorable, and I love like the brotherhood that those two have and what that's going to develop into in the future. So really it set the stage really well for like the development that they're going to have together throughout the rest of the story, which I'm really excited for. But I really want to give a special shout out because I realized when we recorded our episode recap of episode 8, we were all so excited and very scatterbrained. I did not mention the soundtrack. And I want to just say, if I had to give my favorite moment of the season to anything, yes, it still is in episode 8, but it is the credits. Because the way the soundtrack, as they fell into the Infinity Castle, just built and built and built. And then as soon as it leaves us on that cliffhanger, Tanjiro declares that he's going to defeat Muzan, and the credits roll, but the music is so good you can't help but like get up and dance even though you're crying over the cliffhanger. It was just beyond my wildest imagination. I had predicted that was where the season was going to end for quite a while, but I had never predicted that it would be such a spectacular like ending the way they did it and making it like ready for the movies. Like truly, like it already felt like we were watching a movie. So have to give it to that. And one more special shout out to Muzan walking. That was really good. I have to say that was really, really good. Like I said, great training arc. Definitely one of the best training arcs I've experienced. I'm biased, obviously, but still very, very much enjoyed it. So great season. Now let's talk where it falls in our lists of favorite seasons so far. Do you want me to go first on this one? Because I have it like laid out and ready.
Sure.
Okay. All right. So surprisingly, and I say this as someone who loved this season, it is actually my least favorite so far.
I hate to say it, but I know what I like and I know what I enjoy. And I knew going into this that I love the Hashira Training Arc, but I knew that I wouldn't get as much enjoyment out of it as I would for most of the other seasons, because I do genuinely love the high intensity fights. That's what I've always been into for as long as I can remember. So like it just kind of falls to the end just because it's the only one outside of that last few minutes doesn't have a ton of hype of like revolving around it. That's something I know as I need to work on and that sort of thing, but it's just my preference. So anyway, it falls. So it is how many arcs have there been? Oh, season 1, Mugen Train, Entertainment District, Swordsmith Village, Hashira Training. Okay, so it's in 5th, and then in 4th would be season 1, so the Tanjiro Kamado Unwavering Resolve arc. In 3rd would be. Wait, I didn't do the math right. Is there 6?
If you
I think there's
split up,
6.
Mugen Train,
Season 1, Mugen Train, Entertainment District, Swordsmith Village, Hashira Training.
yeah, no, yeah, that's right.
I'm not forgetting one? I feel like I'm forgetting one.
I think you're splitting the Tanjiro's Unwavering Resolve arc and the Butterfly Mansion arc.
Well, that entire season 1, like all of the mini arcs within season 1 are technically like not actual arcs. It's all the Tanjiro Kamado and Wavering Resolve arc, and that goes all the way until Mugen Train.
Yeah,
So I'm
like
basing it
those
off
first
of how usual
26,
tables been.
Entertainment District, or no, Mugen Train, Entertainment District, Swordsmith Village, Hashira Training.
Okay,
5.
all right.
There's 5.
Okay, there's 5. Sorry, I told you I was ready, and apparently I wasn't. So Hashira Training is 5th. Kamado Tanjiro Unwavering Resolve is 4th. Swordsmith Village is 3rd. Mugen Train is 2nd. And Entertainment District is 1st. Now, this is not including the coming arcs because I'm only including those that have been animated. My list will change, I'll just say. But yeah, that's kind of where it lays. But again, it's not because I disliked it. It's just because I know what I like, and a training arc doesn't cater particularly to what I like, but I still think it's one of the best training arcs I've ever watched.
I think I'm going to put Entertainment District in first. I'm going to go Hashira Training second. I'm going to go Swordsmith Village in 4th, Mugen Train in 3rd, and then Season 1 in last place.
Okay.
The main reason I'm doing that is because I think Episode 1 of the Hashira Training Arc also really got me, the movie. Or not like the movie, but you know what I mean.
I personally watched it.
Yeah, so like all of Sonomi's fighting and Open Eye's fighting, like that was really awesome, and I think that action kind of like satiated that for me. So I think that was really good. And then I think season 1, not that it's weak, I just think it has the least amount of depth for me because at that point, like we don't know Tanjiro as well. Like the rest of the seasons, like it took season 1 for us to be attached to him, right? So at that point, we're kind of like, okay, here we go, but we just don't know him that well yet.
It's a good build-up season, but compared to the others, it's like there's just so much good stuff that we're comparing things to. It's hard.
Yeah. Okay. Surprising to no one, Mugen Train remains number 1 for this bitch right here. Mugen Train's number 1. I think Entertainment District is a close second. I do love it. Some Tengen, some flashy fights. It's the one of the highest peaks of everything we've seen so far, in my opinion. So I think those are easily top 2. I think Hashira Training might be my 3rd favorite. I think it might, because there are enough things in it. Let me think on that. I'm going to say it's 3rd for now. And then I actually do really like the first season, though, too. So I think the first season comes in 4th, and I think my least favorite is Swordsmith Village. Still.
Yeah, I think I remember you put it in 4th out of 4 when we did this recap of Swordsmith Village last year.
I think so. And
yeah.
Don't get me wrong. All of these, like, it's not like it's a massive spectrum and it's like Mugen Train is here and Swordsmith Village is all the way over there. I do love all of them. But I think it's just something about like those villains just don't really do it for me. Obviously, the finale episode of Swordsmith Village is also quite beautiful with Nezuko and Tanjiro. Like it's a great episode. It's incredibly well directed and animated, but it's just something about like the rest of it is like I just don't care about those 2 upper moons that much and the fights that go with them. It's much more about the demon slayers, I think, in that season, which I can appreciate. But I think that to me, the story is just more compelling when there's a compelling villain too.
Mhm.
Which will lead me into the thing I'm excited to see when we get to that question. But something else controversial. If I was just going to take one episode and pull it out, I think that this finale would probably go right up to the top for me so far. If I wasn't going to say like the whole season in its entirety.
It's got some good competition, but I think it definitely, I would say for me, I think it's ahead of Swords and Village season finale because Hashira Training season finale was a spectacle from start to finish. Swords and Village, it was like the first 30 minutes of it was like, it had me in a chokehold sobbing, right? And then the rest of it was just kind of like silly fluff that was like, okay, it was fun, but it was what it was, you know? The end of Hashira Training was just like nonstop. You know, we dive right into Muzan walking again, and then like the conversation was so important, and there was so much foreshadowing happening, and there was so much going on with that conversation, and then you get the explosion, and then you get like everyone coming after him with all their like it was just a spectacle from start to finish. So yeah, I can see why that would be above the rest. I get it. Cool. Well, then, now that you know our candid thoughts on the season, I feel bad now. I'm like, man, it's fifth. Emily and Bryan over here like, it's second, it's third. I'm like, oh, okay. Anyway, now we're going to transition into a manga spoiler discussion. So we are going to briefly talk about just obviously the excitement of Infinity Castle being a movie trilogy coming. There's going to be a lot that we're just really looking forward to, but we're just going to discuss really quickly what each of us is most looking forward to in this trilogy. Now, there is a back and forth. We don't know if Sunrise Countdown is going to be included in it. There's reason to believe it might be. There's reason to believe it might not. So I'm going to say we're going to stick to Infinity Castle specifically for this conversation, just because I'm hoping Sunrise Countdown is not a part of it, so and gets its own thing. So we'll talk Infinity Castle specifically. But anyway, manga spoilers ahead. If you have not read the manga and you don't want to get spoiled, this would be your time to go ahead and turn this off, put a pin on it, maybe come back after the end of the movie trilogy if you want to know what we were looking forward to the most. And I'll pass it off to whoever wants to go first.
Oh, I'm so ready for this. I've been waiting.
We should make this a game of guessing what each other... Ooh, do we want to do that?
Let's try.
Do we want to guess each other's favorite moment that we're looking forward to the most?
Mm-hmm.
I love that.
Okay.
So, 3, 2, 1 on what Bryan's most excited for?
Yes.
This is literally not hard. Well, hold on. Let me fully decide.
Okay. All right.
There is a ranking too. I will give points for second choice.
Okay, so we'll say the obvious one, and then if you want, we'll let you talk about the obvious one, and then we'll guess the second. Because I think I have a good idea what the second favorite will be too.
Okay.
Okay. Ready?
Yep.
First favorite.
3,
2,
2, 1.
1. Zenitsu versus Kaigaku.
Yep. Exactly. I can't wait for the audience to see what's been going on for so long. He hasn't been very mindful. He hasn't been very demure. Okay, so we're trying to keep ourselves together here and wonder what's been wrong with this yellow-haired Dorito boy. And you're going to figure it out. And when you do figure it out, when you find out that, unfortunately, Gramps committed seppuku out of, like, the indignity of turning someone from the Thunder Breathing School turning demon, it's like, that's so sad. And so then, you know, you look at this entire story and you see that, like, unfortunately, like, Zenitsu and Kaigaku had this brother-like relationship in which he was, like, the younger bullied brother, which I relate to a lot. So it's like, a lot of these pieces come together to form, like, the full picture that is Zenitsu that you haven't gotten to see. And I think they say this about biology, that, like, nothing about a specific species or, like, any adaptation makes sense unless you view it in the lens of evolution. And I think that applies to Zenitsu a lot, is that you don't understand him until you see his full arc. That's just my thoughts on it. If you'd like to go for second choice, go for it.
think I have a good idea.
I'm
Do
gonna
you,
guess
Emily?
2.
Okay.
I'm gonna
All right,
guess
ready?
also.
3, 2,
2,
1.
1.
Doma.
Yes. Oh,
Doma
actually,
versus
that's not what I
All.
was gonna say. That's not what I was gonna say.
Well,
I was
you
gonna
say what
say
you were gonna say.
Mitsuri.
Oh, no, it's the Doma fight.
That makes sense. -1 for
Hi,
Emily.
gay.
Nice. I just know you really like Doma
I
as a
do.
character. So, and I like, yeah, I won't give any spoilers to my answer, although I think I'm pretty obvious. But
We're in the spoiler section.
no, I
Might
mean
as well
what
spoil
my
everything.
what my favorite what I'm most looking forward to is.
That's
I was
fair.
about to kind of spoil that.
You mean Inosuke's dad?
What?
Not Inosuke's dad.
That is not a thing. Anyway.
The fight against Doma will be really good though, because there's a lot of character development that happens in that fight. Like,
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah. A lot.
A lot. Okay. All right. Time
Are we
to
guessing
guess
Emily?
mine.
Yes, we're guessing yours.
Okay.
Are you ready?
3, 2,
2,
1.
1. Akaza.
Is
Wow. You guys think that's gonna be my favorite? It is. Guilty.
Okay. But are you more looking forward to the fight or his backstory?
The backstory.
That okay. That's.
I think the the fight is also going to be incredible as evidence. And let me actually say, if I'm going to be really, really specific about something else that I'm looking forward to, is I really am curious about how they're going to use his theme again. Because that's not something that we've experienced in the manga, and he has one of the coolest themes in the show that we've not heard, like, since then. But you know that they're going to do some variation of that, and I can't wait.
Ah.
Exactly.
I have been thinking about the OST for that battle since Mugen Train came out. And now it's like we also can think about the fact that it's going to be a part of a movie with a movie budget.
Yep.
Because I was listening to like Rengoku versus Akaza, like their themes intertwined, but now it's going to be Tanjiro's theme, Giyu's theme versus Akaza's theme. It's gonna be so good.
It's going to be so cool. I cannot wait for that. But emotionally,
my body.
the backstory.
Yeah.
There's a reason he's up there with Rengoku for me, even though he did my boy dirty.
Are we guessing second favorite for Emily as well? Like what she's second looking forward to? Or is everything
I don't know
else
if I have
kind
one
of
that I
like...
feel as strong about. I mean, all of it. All of it's so good.
Yeah.
Doma's a good choice. Mitsuri and Obanai is a good choice. I don't know if I have one that I feel like as strongly about. I think I'm just excited for the rest of it. So we can call it there for me.
It's all gonna be good. Okay. I think I'm pretty obvious too.
3,
2,
1.
1. Kokushibo.
Everything with Tanjiro.
Okay, I'll say partially correct because Emily already took what my actual favorite one is. But
Ooh.
so Emily and I are looking forward to the same thing because this fight is involving my favorite character of all time and her favorite demon. So and then okay, also
Your top 2 favorite characters.
my top 2 favorite characters of all time and my second favorite demon. So I've spent a lot of time thinking about watching that battle unfold, and I think that one's also important because I think that one is going to be the one that feels personal to the audience as a whole, because it's going to be the only demon that we've interacted with before and we watched kill Rengoku, so we feel a little bit more like we're kind of in Tanjiro's shoes when he like shouts his name right when he sees him, because it's like we also feel vengeful because we want to avenge Rengoku's death in this moment. So yes, it's my favorite, but I'll give it to you. Kokushibo is definitely a close second. The only reason it's not my favorite is because how that one turns out in the end.
Nemi-chan.
Stop.
And the fact that he's disappearing and he can't even hear anything that Sonomi's saying.
We're going to stop. I'm going to stop you right there.
So that's chapter 179, where we get back-to-back two of the hardest deaths in the entire story, in my opinion, because it's the two children. The fact that I have to watch that in a movie theater, surrounded by people.
But that's the thing, who are they starting with? Because they're doing a trilogy of the battles, right? How are they organizing this?
It's going to be organized, like, it's going to be ordered the way that the
manga is.
So chapter 179 won't be until midway through the third one, is what I would assume.
Wow.
So,
Yeah.
unless they squeeze Sunrise Countdown into it. Then 179 will probably be in movie 2, but I don't think they will. They're very specifically advertising it as Infinity Castle. Ufotable's never been like, oh, by the way, here's another arc, surprise. Like, they've always waited, so I think Sunrise Countdown will be its own entity, but we'll see.
Yeah. Here's hoping.
It's, no matter what, I trust Ufotable. I mean, if they do squeeze Sunrise Countdown in, all they need to do is just make the runtime of each movie longer than what Mugen Train was. They need to make it like a 2.5 hour movie, which I would be down to sit down and watch a 2.5 hour movie 3 times. Yeah. So,
why not?
You know, we'll see what happens, but we're definitely very much looking forward to it. It'll be interesting to see how we're going to do it podcast-wise. It's kind of crazy to think that we could only have 3 recap episodes left to record. If this trilogy really is the end, like some people are saying, that's kind of a wild thought, but we'll be with everyone all along the way, because this journey is far from ending. We've got a lot to get through, but it is still coming to an end, which is pretty crazy to think. Kind of like JJK's manga coming to an end in 5 weeks.
I don't want to talk about it.
I knew you wouldn't. All right.
It's Gojover.
It's Gojover.
We didn't do it, Joe.
Oh, well.
We didn't go, Joe.
Oh. This truly was our Jujutsu Kaisen. This truly was our Kimetsu no Yaiba. Emphasis on no.
Kimetsu no Yaiba.
The Yaiba was the Kimetsu we made along the way.
Oh my goodness. Well, with that, y'all, I think we're going to wrap it up there. Be on the lookout. We do have plans for the off season. I know, obviously, we've taken an off season ourselves, but I believe we're going to be doing some Kaiju number 8 coming up. Emily has not watched it yet, so that could be pretty fun. We've also thrown around some other anime ideas as well, so we will be doing stuff during the off season, and we'll keep y'all updated as soon as we find out information on the Infinity Castle. You know, we can be the first place you look for information about it, because we will be on the ball. We are ready. We are ready to watch these movies. But thank you everyone so much for listening in today. If you liked what you heard, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel, where you can see the video format of our podcasts, and also turn on the notification bell so you get notified whenever we make a new post. On Spotify, don't forget to download the episode to your phone. That really helps out our numbers and everything. And make sure you give us a 5-star rating. You can also check us out on all podcast platforms. We're on Apple Podcasts, Pandora, all the things pretty much. And then you can also follow us on social media. We are on X at Hashira Half. And then TikTok and Instagram is Hashira Half Hour. Thank you so much for listening in. And with that, we say a hearty Umai!
Umai!
Hey, yo! Umai!
My favorite part of the day is wondering how Bryan's gonna say Umai.
When Rengoku's from New York, and so instead of a donut, he's a bagel.
Oh. All right.
He just has strawberry cream cheese.
Yep, that's it for today.
I quit.
Bye-bye!
Bye-bye.
Thanks so much for watching today's episode. Once again, today's episode was sponsored by Tokyo Treat and brought to you in part by this lovely partnership that we've had. We're so thankful that they send us these lovely treats every month, and you can get your hands on them too using code Hashira, link in the bio and link in the description below. So please go ahead and check that out. You get $5 off your first box.
So go ahead, get your own snack box, get your own taste of the Moon Festival.